guys, so we're coming to you live from Universal Studios Starbucks because we were in Starbucks line for quite a while, and we met an amazing manager of the Starbucks there, and he was able to give us some great inside information. We asked him, some questions, and he was happy to talk to us as travel agents. But of course, we couldn't record him, and so we're doing this recording right now.
So we don't forget.
So
what
we
he
don't
said.
forget what he said because
we could forget.
Cat's really bad at that memorization thing. So
my memory bank is
And every
pretty
time
much
I
full.
laugh, it makes the table move.
that's why you can't have your arm on the table.
I'm trying to be very still. Anyway, so this guy was super nice, as all of the team members at Universal have been. We are here on the second day that the park has been open to people other than pass holders. But the interesting thing was, he told us that yesterday it appeared that about 90% of the people in the parks were annual pass holders. That's not right. Pass holders.
So and remember that guy that we met at the Leaky Cauldron that was so friendly? The guy that Ernst. No, not Ernst. Not the employee. The guy that was.
He
sitting
was
at the table
really
next
great,
to us.
too.
Oh, he was awesome.
Yeah.
The guy that was sitting next to the table with us.
Yes,
He was
yes,
an annual pass holder, and he was so excited to be here that this was his second day because they opened to the staff the first day. Second day they invited the annual pass holders, and then yesterday was the first day that the public could come, which we consider ourselves public people. So we came the first day, and this was his second day, and he was so happy to be here. But I thought that was really interesting that he, as a pass holder, came 2 days in a row. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
Well, and I think one thing that we talked about was that places like Universal Studios opening is really important to the country right now because
Hopeful.
we
The world.
are
It's
all
not just the country.
yeah, the world, because there's a lot of mental anguish that has gone on with everything that's been happening in the world. And being able to go to a place and have fun, we do have to wear masks unless we're eating, and we've got food here.
Drinks to prove it, girls.
And we're outside and everything, but even with having to wear the mask, it's just nice to be with people and be doing fun things and having conversations with someone other than the walls of your house or the 4 other people that live in your house.
Or one in my case.
And
Yeah.
so
Empty
it's been a very, I don't know, I've been surprised at how much it's meant to me to be
I
here.
enjoyed.
Have you felt that?
Yes. Oh,
I
absolutely.
know Mary has.
I cried in the elevator.
Yeah.
She cries a lot.
It's okay.
She cried when he was talking to us. He was telling us stories about people.
The little girl.
The little girl. He told us a story about a woman. I don't remember the little girl one. The woman with the 4 kids. Is what I was saying. He told us a story about a woman with 4 kids that was there yesterday. She was an annual pass holder for small children, and she said she came up to me and said, "I just want to hug you." Because I am so excited to get my kids to someplace outside, someplace fun, and it's still safe. She said I was terrified to take them anywhere, to a city park even. There was a mother arrested for that.
Right.
So she said she didn't feel safe taking them anywhere, but she feels safe taking them here. Because one of the things he pointed out to us was that they met with the CDC and the mayor of Orlando and the governor and all that, and they came up with a plan for reopening the park in phases. We're in phase 1. And he said, we did what the CDC required, but we went over and above.
Right.
And I actually asked him about the masks, because one of the CDC things is that you don't need to wear a mask when you're outside. And yet, here in the park, you do have to wear a mask. And so I asked him, I said, is that part of y'all going over and above? And he said, yeah. He said, we are
You said
meeting,
we want people to
feel safe. He said, we are meeting and exceeding the CDC requirements. And so that makes me, honestly, girls, much more likely to wear my mask today. Because I found ways around it. I sipped on a soda for hours so that I could have my mask on.
True confessions of Cass.
Yeah, I didn't want to wear the mask. It was hot, it was uncomfortable. But after talking to this guy and realizing that my wearing a mask makes the people around me feel more comfortable,
Right.
even if I don't think it protects them, but it does make them feel protected, I'm more likely to wear my mask today.
Well, and when you think about the kind of place that you're coming to, we're coming to a place where people are trying to relax and enjoy the day. And even if you are, there are certain things that if you're going to go to a certain place,
yeah, you obey the rules.
then you obey the rules, and you.
But the rules were if you were eating or
Accept that.
drinking, you could take your mask off.
Okay, I think we should talk about I wasn't there, but it was where you were at an area where a certain gentleman would not use.
Oh yeah, this
Oh,
was a
right.
secondhand story. Okay, my daughter was in one of the smoking areas, and of course, you know, when smokers get in the smoking areas, they tend to talk and visit with each other. So she and he were visiting, and he goes, "Yeah, I just got thrown out of the Harry Potter ride." And she's like, "What? What happened?" And he said, "Well, I went on it, and I really liked it." Well, when you go in anywhere on this now in
restaurant?
phase one, and you go into Starbucks, if you go into a store,
ride.
or store too,
A store, a
they
ride.
are right there at the entrance. You got to Purell your hands. You've got to sanitize your hands before you go in. So this guy, you know, sanitized his hands, you know, had his mask on, went and enjoyed the ride, loved it, turned around, came out, went through the ride again, loved it, turned around, went through the ride again, loved it, came around for the fourth time. And they're like, okay, here's the hand sanitizer. And he's like, okay, fine. But he had his phone in one hand. So he had his hand out and for the sanitizer. And the woman said, no, you have to sanitize both hands. Put your phone down. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that. And so I've been here 4 times. This is ridiculous. So he fought back verbally, resisted, whatever. And she said, I consider that a threat. You need to leave now. And she called security over and had him removed from the ride.
And they have the right to do that because
It's their park.
He had ridden the ride. He had touched everything,
Right.
and then he
Yeah,
touches
I mean,
his phone.
do you know how many people touch those rides? You have to hang on to the bars.
So
while
that's
you're,
their concept of thinking.
Right. My
this
concept
way
is-
to keep everyone safe. Is
Okay.
to-
And I see that's my gift and my curse. I see both sides.
Right.
So I understand where he was coming from. I just did this. But I would never have done what he did because this is the
Right.
park rules, and that's what if I want to be. It's their playground. It's like when I sold on Amazon.
Well, and
I didn't
also-
agree with all the rules,
Also,
but I was selling it.
we
It's
don't
their
know
sandbox.
exactly how he
Right, it's a
approached
third-hand
that
story.
either.
Yeah,
like
that's
he
true.
could
This-
be,
this is second-hand.
yeah, he could be, you know, presenting himself as this
Nice, calm
kind
person. Right.
But if you're being nasty to people,
Right.
I mean, these people they're busting their tails to be
Right.
Here
here
for us.
Right.
and they've got those hot masks on. Some of them have costumes.
Oh, yeah.
And the masks, and they're working
And their
really
hats. A lot
hard.
of them have the hats as part of the contest.
And they're not.
costume.
They're cheerful and
Yeah.
being kind. And I mean, I haven't run across anybody that's been
No,
angry
nobody's
or
short with us
short
at all.
tempered.
And you know, if I was in this Florida heat and this Florida humidity and being rained on off and on all day because it's liquid sunshine, it comes and goes. I don't know if I'd maintain that attitude. So hopefully their shifts are shorter than 8 hours. But I haven't run into anybody.
We
But
we also need to tell them about the temperature.
they tip
Every morning.
every morning.
And
Oh,
we're
yeah.
staying at a resort. We get different bands,
Every
and they
morning.
check our temperatures.
And the park, I think the park visitors. Have you seen the park visitors with these things too? Do you know the bracelets?
I bet
if you
did.
walk into the park and you have not stayed at a resort and ridden over on the water taxi, then you're going to have your temperature taken at the park gates
Everyone's
as well.
And it's a what they call it, a temporal. So you just turn your head to the right and they like
They
point
shoot.
it
They
at
don't
you.
touch you.
They don't touch you.
So it's a contactless.
And then every
system.
day, if you're doing one of our packages, which is multiple days, every day you get a different color.
You just go downstairs. It's really simple. They just
First
do
thing
it
in the
really quick.
morning.
And that's we're not really sure. We think that that's how it's working at the other resorts, but we haven't been over there yet to see. But I
it's
think
a-
I think it's resort wide. So we're staying in a premier resort, but the band makes it so that we can go to any of the resorts and use their pools and stuff. You just have to show your band.
So if you try to go into a resort or into the park or to another pool or something, they're going to check for that. There are these stations at all the entrances that have the thermometers and the wristbands, and they just watch you. And if you walk through and hold up your arm, you got a wristband, no problem.
But if you have yesterday's color, then they're like, okay,
Right, stop, get your temperature checked. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've all been trained, I think, very well. It doesn't seem like
It's been really well, and that was the other thing that he said is that
Yeah.
they, the team members and management, have not really stopped working. They've been here brainstorming, practicing how it's going to work, practicing how they're going to deal with guests and all
Figuring
that
it
kind of
out.
stuff, and figuring it
And
out.
putting together the plan that they presented to the CDC and to the government of Florida.
Yeah.
And also I thought it was interesting, Ernst yesterday from where we were eating Leaky Cauldron said he'd been back to work for 2 weeks. I was really surprised by that. And I said, so you've been, and he said, well, that part was voluntary. So I'm thinking now that they're open, I'm sure it's not voluntary whether you come to work or not. But the
might
pre
be.
might be.
Might
But
be.
well, actually that's true because the guy we talked to in here said that they were not going to force anybody to come back that felt like it wasn't safe. But I think the pre part was really, really voluntary because they were coming in the park, to prepare, to learn the new rules together. And he said he'd been here for 2 weeks, which I thought was really, really interesting because that time frame goes back to before they were approved to open. So they've been working on this, trying to get open for quite a while.
And making sure that everyone knows the system, everyone is aware of how the guests need to be handled, how to do the temperature checks and how to because honestly, the kind of organization it takes to run a park anyway is insane.
On top of trying
and
to
then
be
trying to be
sanitized the whole time.
sanitizing everything constantly.
In Florida,
you
where you
can
sweat.
watch people go through with the sanitizing wipes on the railings.
Yeah, the hand railing.
Yesterday we were leaning up against a bar, and out of nowhere, this guy came with a spray.
Yeah, I mean they're
Can you
everywhere.
lift your arms, please? Yes.
Yes, we can.
And as soon as we get out from this table, because I just watched the other table across from us happen. As soon as we get up from this table, someone will be here and will sanitize the table, and probably the chairs because I'm touching the chairs.
Yeah.
As a lifelong theme park goer, because I was brought up in Central Florida, it is kind of a herd. You are treated as kind of a herd to herd people this way and that way. It's really interesting. It kind of feels that way now, even though there's not as many people. It's a system.
But I'll tell you what, the whole not as many people thing is
Awesome.
a bonus. So
Even if we have the express pass.
even if we have
That's
like
really
Yeah,
good.
that's-
The
yeah,
express
we have
pass
the
is
But
express
even
pass.
without it, it wouldn't have been bad.
No.
I didn't see any ride that would have taken an hour to get onto yesterday. And
Yeah, no,
and when
that
I
was-
was here last year, we had limited express passes. So we had like 5. And so those, we would use those for the big rides, and then the smaller rides, we had to wait in line. And it was typical to spend an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Some were longer, we're like, we're not waiting that long, we walk away. But that was normal at this time last year.
And now they have the virtual on the app. You can
Oh
use
yeah, the virtual line.
So that-
April figured all that out. She talked to that guy and figured all that
Oh,
out.
that's nice.
well, and they've always had virtual lines they have for at least the last few years.
Right.
That, they've had the virtual lines at Universal, but it sounds like they've expanded how many
Explain
rides
that to
have
them.
that.
What is a virtual line?
So a virtual line is where you basically you get into line virtually on your app, and then
It gives you an
estimated time to be back at the line, so that you know when it's your turn, and then you scan your.
You show up at this special line where there's no line. The line's over here. You show them your app. They look at the app and the time, and then they put you basically at the front of the line.
Right. So that's
cool.
Well, and at Volcano Bay, they have the Tapu Tapu
Witches.
bands, which are bands that
I'm
basically.
so excited about that.
I
I
know.
want Tapu Tapu to be.
So it's been
citywide.
raining a lot, and we
wanna
keep
wheel
kind of
home.
putting off going to Volcano Bay because it keeps raining, but
We might just go.
We might
really
just go
wanna
in the
go.
rain because it's such a great place.
I've never been.
Okay,
I
mean, you're
guys,
gonna get
if you
wet
have
anyway.
if you
Why-
have
why
never
are we worried
been to
about getting
Volcano
wet?
Bay,
Never been. Newbie.
Why are we worried about getting away with
Have you been to Volcano Bay?
No, I haven't.
Newbies.
No. Okay, so if you've never been to Volcano Bay, it is the best water park I have ever been to. Like, I love it. I love it. Okay, but here's why. All right, so first of all, they have the water roller coaster, which is, in my opinion, the best thing. Like
Can't wait to ride.
when
I
me
like
and my
roller
family went last
Yeah,
year,
but she likes this one.
when me and my family went
Maybe
last
it's 'cause
year,
it's
when me and my family went
What's she
last
talking
year,
about?
we rode that water roller coaster multiple times in a row because we went in February
I'm gonna
and
get
there
out
was
of
nobody
the
there.
Which is elbowing you.
And it was so much fun. We just got back in line every time. But the Tapu Tapu is like you just tap your wristband on a little icon outside of the ride, and it logs your wristband into a virtual line. So this virtual line thing is not new to Universal Studios, and the Tapu Tapu bracelet is, in my opinion, one of the best theme park inventions ever. So I love it because of that. I love it because the rides I feel like are unique, but I also love it because it's peaceful. And I know that that's really a weird thing to say about a theme park, but the way that they've done it, you feel like you're like in Hawaii or something. The music,
Okay, well then let's stop talking about it.
everything is amazing. Well, we still haven't ridden Hagrid's ride, and we
Okay.
need to ride that.
Good to ride that. Okay, so I want to talk real quick before we
Yes.
start talking about the rides again.
Okay.
Talk about the rest areas. People want to know.
Oh yeah.
about this.
Yes.
So if
Thank
you
you for
really
keeping
struggle
us-
with the mask, because like some people with breathing problems, especially with claustrophobia issues, with just I sweat a lot issues or whatever, need the mask off.
What are you trying to say?
You are not editing that out. So anyway,
First, you guys talked about how she didn't mind that roller coaster because it's wet. Now, the cat, and then it's you. What are we going to say bad about you?
I'm trying not to pee my pants right now.
Oh.
Women of a certain age have difficulty with coughing, with laughter.
Okay, we don't need to discuss that.
Okay, so you want to discuss the mask. So people that have
The rest
trouble with
areas.
the
There's
rest
areas.
4 rest areas.
So if the mask is a big issue for you, if it really is hard for you to keep it on all the time, there are these rest areas. They call them U-rest or something. And so you can go into this rest area and take off your mask. So not only can you sit down and chill for a little bit, mask free.
Right.
But honestly, I don't understand because you can go into any restaurant.
We
and do
don't
the
we
same
don't need
thing.
to understand it. It's their rules.
No, what I'm saying is, why would you use? Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, why would I go to a rest area when I could just go to a restaurant and do it?
Because
Maybe
you
they
have to
don't wanna-
wait in line in
and
a
you have to
restaurant.
pay for
And
something.
you have to pay for something.
What if they've
different.
already eaten? What if they already drink?
I was just trying to.
There's so many
There's
reasons.
so many
Kat.
reasons why.
Lord,
I just wanted
people.
to rest.
I'm obviously the third sister, the redheaded stepsister.
Okay, so one of the big rest areas is right next to the Simpsons.
Simpsons.
Men in Black.
Men in Black. So it's like in between Simpsons and Men in Black. Do you
There's
guys
another.
know?
There was another one right in the Simpson area.
It's all in the app, and it's all on the map.
I'm just
It's
saying.
all in the app and it's all on the map, people.
And if
That's
you're-
all you have to know.
So if you're
it's
old-
in the app
That's
and
right.
it's on the map.
And if you're old school, you can use a paper map. And if you're high tech, first adopter, you can use the app.
You'll have to use the paper one if you don't charge your phone.
we wouldn't know about that for any specific reason.
No.
Also,
Oh.
important to note.
Important to know.
They give you a paper ticket when you first get
Right.
here, and then you can scan it into your phone. Keep in mind
If you
that
don't charge your
if you don't
phone-
charge your phone, you can't get to the app which that has your ticket on it. So if your ticket gets wet at the, I don't know, let's just say the Jurassic Park River ride.
Well, I wonder where that happened
I
at.
don't know.
I don't know
And
if
your
it's
ticket
really
is
happened or
wet.
not.
Okay, but my phone was charged, so
Theoretically-
saved by the bell.
Right.
Somebody else's phone wasn't charged.
When you walked into the park at 9 o'clock,
Anyway,
I don't know who it was.
Somebody
9 o'clock
forgot to
a.m.
charge their
It was
phone.
first thing in the morning.
I'm like, yellow bar.
And we all went, do we go back?
But
We didn't
if
go
you
back.
don't, if that ticket gets wet, you can take it back to the customer service place, and they'll issue you a new ticket.
There was another place we needed that paper ticket. Because I remember having to pull
I was
it
on the
out.
train.
The Hogwarts Express.
Let's explain.
Although you
that.
should be able to use the
You
phone.
can scan your app.
Okay,
there,
but the
too.
deal
You
is
can't. You have to have a special ticket to get to
Right.
the other side. So explain that.
Hogwarts Express goes between two parks. Islands
Oh,
of
I
Adventure.
see
Yeah.
what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason you have to show your ticket to get on the Hogwarts Express is because in order to ride the Hogwarts Express, you have to have a park-to-park ticket.
Park
if
to
you
park.
do
Y'all
not have
remember
a
that.
park-to-park,
Important word.
So you
Park
might
to park.
you might have
TP.
you might have a 3-park pass that's not park-to-park.
Yes, because they do sell those that you go to this park one day and the
Right.
other park one day and the other park.
Which
one day.
is less
Cheaper.
expensive.
Yes.
And
It's
if you
cheaper.
have a plan to do all things, but if you like to jump around like three
certain
sisters,
people that
And if you want to ride the
Attention deficit
Hogwarts
disorder.
Express, which you totally should because it's awesome. Did I just
awesome.
make that
you
fog
did
up?
something.
I think I
Sorry.
made the screen fog up. Anyway,
You got really excited about the train.
I
told
really
you.
love
It
the
totally
Hogwarts
did fog up.
Express.
Wow.
It fogged up.
it started raining, that may be part of it.
It's it's my
full of
hot
hot air.
air.
Brad had it.
Anyway, why did you say that?
Because we knew what we were gonna say.
Okay. Anyway. Okay.
Finished your sentences?
So the Hogwarts Express is awesome.
It
It
is.
has special things that will not be revealed because we
you
don't
can't
want
even
to
video
ruin
them.
it.
You can't video.
Right, you're not supposed to video on the train. I
can
know
take
that there's.
pictures.
I know that you know, you might take a picture of it or whatever. But
Don't
even if you
YouTube it. Don't
even if you YouTube it and somebody don't do it.
Don't let them spoil it for you.
Yeah, like I said,
It's like watching the end of a movie before you watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Because if you don't, you'll be in the you'll be in the Hogwarts Express and you'll be going, oh, look at that! Oh my gosh! Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
So, and if you've already
Enjoy
seen
it
it, you're
fun.
like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah, here it
Oh,
comes.
okay.
Or
It's,
wait for
it's
this.
so
Wait for it.
much more than just a train ride. I'm telling you what, it is an experience.
Girl,
Okay,
we
go
need
out of
poncho.
frame for a second. Go out of frame.
Me?
Go out of frame. Now come back and speak like the train people.
Hello, welcome to the Hogwarts Express. I hope you do enjoy your ride.
So you'll get a little bit of that,
British accent in case you couldn't.
and then when the people come into the ride, you'll get a lot of this.
What?
It's supposed to be the accent, Tangerine.
Oh, when we come into the ride.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hey, is this where I'm supposed to be? I think I got one of them park-to-park tickets, but I ain't sure.
That's it. Anyway, don't let somebody spoil it for you.
Right, it's really, really fun.
It is. It's great. It's great. And it's another one of those moments when I try to be careful because sometimes I have a bad memory. So to me, my pictures are my memory. So I take lots of pictures. But sometimes you can get so tied up into getting the perfect picture that you totally miss the experience. Don't do that. The ride lines are not long. Ride the ride twice if you have to. The first time, no pictures, no video. Just enjoy an experience.
Right.
And then if you really want pictures, go back again and
And
do
who
it.
told you to do that?
I don't remember.
I
Think
it
about
was me.
living in the moment.
The smart
or-
sister.
No, you're the smart sister.
Oh,
She's the creative sister.
I'm not smart and creative. That's me.
No, I think
You are smart, but you have to pick one.
Mary,
You're so pretty.
Mary's the uncomfortable sister.
Okay, she's smart and creative. I'm redheaded and she's uncomfortable. Picking our three sisters' names, like picking the three dwarfs' name or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
What else did we talk with the gentleman about? This whole episode was supposed to be about the insider information we got
I know,
from Ernst
and we've
from
gone
him.
into lots of tangents.
and we didn't take notes.
We have
so this is
attraction deficit disorder.
This is really
We're
on the fly.
distracted.
Right
Your leg
I
is
know, but I'm like, I'm sitting on one
now. Oh,
hip.
you're the sweaty sister now.
I'm sitting on one hip. That's
I'm
not
like,
sweat. That's sunscreen.
No, it's
All right.
sweat.
I think that's good for now.
The uncomfortable
evolved
sister
from
has spoken.
We don't know if it's sweat
And
or something
Southern
else.
women don't sweat. We perspire.
Did you hear me?
Yes. We are all, after all, either on the threshold
Post-childbirth.
of menopause, or in the middle of it, or past it.
Or past childbirth. Yes.
And our
Once you've done
bladder
the childbirth
is-
thing.
Slightly elastic.
God, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it.
Okay, we're gonna let Kat go to the
Okay.
restroom.
All right. We'll
I have
talk
to-
to
I
y'all
have to
later.
pull a Potter.
This has been Three Sisters. Three Sisters. Oh wait, is that like a?
No, it's the
Symbol
way.
of
This is
some-
the Italian three-way.
Let's not do fingers.
No,
okay?
that's we don't know what that means. Somebody somewhere probably thinks that's a bad symbol.
Well, how do you do
Don't
Put your
just
hands
put
down.
Yeah, just put the hands
Okay,
down.
we're going away now. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Cats reach your limit.